we've only been faced with kind of opacity. They have never been transparent, and it's very difficult to track the way that money moves through organizations. So we have at least a parameter of it now, and I think we need to solidify that parameter and figure out next how it was working internally, how the flow of money was moving to contractors, to subcontractors, to sub-subcontractors, of friends, of buddies, of all of that sort of thing. And I think they're going to be finding over the next 5 years criminal activity.
Well, you laid out, I think, importantly, that there is a difference between the border and how the money was dispersed north and south. As this has become exposed, as these NGOs realize their federal funding is drying up, is there enough momentum or money out there for them to pull from in the private sector? What happens to these groups as they no longer receive taxpayer dollars?
Hundreds of them are going to close shop. Hundreds of them opened up only for this mass migration crisis. They were like, oh, we need, a bus company. We need handlers down at the border to help migrants.
They're talking about blanket preemptive pardons. Given what you've seen on the, and you said from day one, Steve, this is not chaos. This is very well thought through. You can see by the executive orders they did. Do you believe there should be an investigation? Do you believe that we should have a thorough investigation of how this invasion of 10 to 15 million people came about, sir?
Full-throated investigation, presidential, committee, whatever it takes, but the DOJ under the new FBI director and the AG. They need to have a full-throated investigation about who did what. Now, a lot of folks are thinking, oh, Mayorkas and the top guys. I'm not thinking that way at all. It needs to focus in on the political appointee class. I wrote in my book, Overrun, Chapter 4, at length, that this thing was orchestrated and engineered at the political appointee level inside the Domestic Policy Council, the DOJ, all the DHS agencies. The people that they brought in, for example, Tyler Moran, Esther Olivaria, Lucas Gutentag, Amy Pope, that level of people that were in there orchestrating this came in from the NGO world, the non-governmental organization world, and they systematically undermined federal law and statute that required them to faithfully execute those laws, not to dismantle them. But what I'm wondering, Steve, is whether they also steered contracts to their former employers and future employers, because we saw hundreds of millions of dollars flow to their former